Austin count us down to go? Just kidding, that was a joke. Just making Tess run, we all pass. Feel good about it. You're doing great at this science thing. All great listeners. And we're ready to count down.
Stand by, go live. And in 5, 4, 3.
Good morning and thank you for coming. Before I begin, I would like to thank Mayor Leirion Gaylor Baird and also the University of Nebraska at Lincoln Center for Children, Families, and the Law, Chairperson Kuchera, and all CCFL staff and partners in the Continuum. I want to thank you for your leadership, and I want to thank you for your partnership. When we think about homelessness in this country, we tend to think about the urban centers, such as Chicago, Los Angeles, or maybe even New York. But we all know that homelessness is right here with us in Lincoln. It's no less deadly or no less bad of an issue. You all know, as I do, that no community is immune. This should not be the case in the greatest nation on earth. President Biden and Vice President Harris and all of us at HUD take this issue very seriously. In fact, we have put more resources towards addressing homelessness in the last 3 years than any similar period nationally. We have served or permanently housed 1.2 million people experiencing homelessness. We have issued 120,000 new vouchers in 3 years, and 70,000 of those were specifically for addressing homelessness. That's a 20-year record. And we plan to continue that fight. We're here to get more housing units built. We're making sure that experiencing homelessness can transition into permanent housing and access to health care and support services. And most importantly, we are making sure that the service providers on the front lines, boots on the ground of this crisis, have the resources that they need, and that's why I'm here today. On January 29th, HUD announced $3.1 billion in continuum of care grants to organizations across the country working to address homelessness. This is the largest amount historically that we have ever provided to the program nationally. Here in Lincoln, we are providing more than $10 million under the lead of the University of Nebraska at Lincoln Centers for Children, Families, and the Law. That's over $5.1 million to the city of Lincoln, and over $5 million for servicing the state's rural communities. Thank you all for what you're already doing for the crisis with compassion and respect, and for those experiencing homelessness in our community. I know this money will allow and empower you to go even further than those who need support the most, especially who are unsheltered and often cut off from critical resources and the fundamental safety of having a roof over their head. At this time, I will like to invite the Mayor Gaylor Baird, to join me in receiving the check for $5,119,548.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to call up Madam Mayor for a few remarks.
Well, thank you so much, Director Amaya. And on behalf of our community in the city of Lincoln, I just want to express our profound gratitude to you, to U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge, to our regional administrator, Ulysses Claiborne, and to the entire team at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for your incredible commitment to creating strong, sustainable, and inclusive communities and high-quality affordable homes for everyone. We could not be more grateful, and this is a magnificent moment. Your commitment, HUD's commitment, and the Biden-Harris administration's commitment is paying big dividends in Lincoln today. We are so thrilled to be a part of this announcement and to celebrate a major boost to our local efforts to functionally end chronic homelessness. And that's thanks to these incredible resources that have been created by the Biden-Harris administration through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We are thrilled that a portion of the homelessness assistance funding announced today, that big check, will be directed toward the operation of Lincoln's first city-owned permanent supportive housing. Nearly $300,000 of that check will go toward this transformative project that will create 24 individual apartments combined with wraparound services to help unsheltered, chronically homeless individuals get off the street and back on their feet. Our $300,000 award here at the City of Lincoln is part of that over $5.1 million in federal funding that's being awarded to 10 Lincoln Continuum of Care agencies for 25 different homelessness response programs. The hard work of the people at all of these agencies, so many of them in this room today, I am proud to recognize you all for your critical efforts to end homelessness, and the work you do is really important. I want to especially thank our partners at the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Center on Children, Families, and the Law, the lead agency in our region, led by Jeff Chambers. Thank you so much for everything you have done. And I want to acknowledge and thank our partners on the City Council and Councilman Tom Beckius, who is here with us today, for the work that you have done to help grant resources to these agencies. I want to thank everyone from our city team who's been really involved in this effort, especially our team at Urban Development here at the city, represented today by Brad Schmeichel, along with folks like our director, Peter Hind, and Hermstead, who helped write this grant. We're so there's a lot of gratitude to go around today, and we're really thankful for the many partnerships and collaborations that have helped lead us to this moment. We're especially thankful for this latest federal infusion of support that will help us ensure that every individual has a wonderful place to call home and the support they need to thrive. Together, we are growing the great life for all in Lincoln. Thank you so much. And at this time, I'd like to hand it over to the Balance of State Chairperson, Tara Kuchera, and thank you for your leadership and what you're doing in the rest of Nebraska. Thanks.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. It is my honor and privilege to be able to be part of the great work that we do every day to change the lives of those who suffer from homelessness in our state. On behalf of the Nebraska Balance of State Continuum of Care, I would like to express our profound gratitude for HUD's commitment and funding to tackle homelessness. This crucial support will reinforce statewide efforts to provide housing, resources, and pathways to stability for vulnerable populations. With the additional resources, all three of the Nebraska Continuum of Cares can boost supportive services, strengthen affordable housing initiatives, and enhance community partnerships aimed at addressing the complex challenges of homelessness. With the expanded support, we can broaden critical services to areas previously underserved, fostering hope and stability for those in need. Thank you to HUD for their leadership and support as we work to advance equity, dignity, compassion, and opportunities for all members of our state. With this commitment, we can make meaningful strides towards ending homelessness and building brighter futures for all of us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and supporting ending chronic homelessness through the funding to the people who have boots on the ground. That concludes the announcement today, and we will have time for questions.
This is for the mayor. Can you go into a little more detail of what that money's going to use for? I know you kind of talked about that 24 individual apartments. Can you go in a little bit more detail of what that is going to look like?
Yes, thank you for the question, Anthony. The question about what this grant will do for the people in Lincoln. During my State of the City 2 years ago, I announced that we would be creating permanent supportive housing, and last October, we followed up with an announcement that we'd selected a site just over at 8th and J, across from the City-County building, for the first city-owned permanent supportive housing. This kind of housing is meant to help get chronically homeless individuals off the streets and into a permanent living situation that isn't just an apartment. It is more than that. It is combined with wraparound services from some of the social service agencies who can help folks get back on their feet. And we are working to get that site built. We've recently have selected the architect. We will be moving forward with construction in the coming year. What this grant will do is help us operate it once we open those doors. And of course, that's what's needed, is that long-term kind of commitment to creating the services that can help improve people's lives. So $300,000 will help us operate our permanent supportive housing facility once we open the doors.
Where is it going to be located?
We're at 8th and J, so just on the southwest corner. Yeah. Any other questions?
Why was Lincoln selected? I think this goes to HUD.
Well, it is an application process, and so I don't have the details of that, but I do know that it plays a part into what the Continuum of Care's entities and partners are saying they're going to do with the money, and being able to expand as much as we can over both the city of Lincoln and the state of Nebraska in the rural areas that are underserved. Okay, that concludes the press conference, and thank you for coming and thank you for your support.